What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. Today's going to be kind of a maintenance slash improvement day for the Fox body here. So went to the track. If you haven't seen the last video, go check it out. Learned a bunch, so not going to go into full detail on everything. It's in that last video if you go check it out. But it is time to make some slow improvements on this car, more tailored towards my preference. So I ordered some things and we're gonna go over them in a few minutes. Nothing crazy change-wise, just little nitty-gritty stuff that I feel will help me be more prepared at the track and a little bit more safer, to be honest with you. So I'm gonna go over those things. We're gonna get right into it. Let's go. All right, so coming back from last week at the track, I learned a lot, obviously, about the car, but some changes in the car are necessary for me. So one thing I found is that I couldn't get the bump button to work after trying it out before we went to the track, and so that's a pretty simple fix. It's already in the Holly. I think just one of the wires isn't connected fully. Or needs to be grounded or something, so I'm going to do that today. But I'm also going to make some changes in regards to the trans brake and the bump button itself. So the current setup on the car is this button right here is going to be is currently my trans brake. This button on top of the shifter is the bump and scramble button. So what I plan to do is put them on the steering wheel, and I ordered 2 buttons to move these to the new steering wheel, or to the existing steering wheel, for having just more of a safety thing. I want to have both hands on the wheel at all times, and 2, it's really hard to hold the trans brake and then bump at the same time. Obviously both hands would be on the shifter area, so not ideal. So it's going to be as simple as it's already wired up correctly, just moving these wires over to the wires on the steering wheel, and then hiding all this. I plan on cleaning all this up with some wire looms. The second thing is going to be the line lock. So currently there is line lock on here. It is already wired in, but there is a pigtail connector right here that was sharing this connector, which goes to the boost and trans brake function. So this one's just kind of hanging out, and I really don't have time to swap this over in the burnout box, because if I had this connected here, I would be able to do a line lock burnout and have to unplug it, plug it back in here, and it's just not ideal when you're trying to go down the track and be race ready. So I ordered a new connector for this, and all I'm going to do is use the line lock either on the shifter, since these will both be open now, or I'll use this as my line lock as a momentary button. Either one, haven't really decided. I'll kind of figure that out as I get towards that step, and then put the weather pack connector that I ordered together and splice it into whichever button I choose to. So that's the plan of attack for those. And what I did is went to Jegs. Pretty easy. Ordered 2 buttons here. I actually have one of them already mounted on the steering wheel. There was a pre-existing hole there. I guess they were on there at one point in time, but I plan on adding another hole right here. So I'll have a bump button and trans brake button. You can wire them however you want to, doesn't matter, but since I'm right-handed, I'll use my dominant hand on the trans brake and then my left hand to bump in. The second thing that we're going, third, I don't know, thing that we're going to be doing is, once I clean a bunch of this up, adding a pigtail, is probably going to be adding, our seat. That was the third thing, our seat. So I took the seat out. I had Chris, my buddy, weld in just a tab right here. There's already one on the driver's seat, but there wasn't one on the passenger seat. So took the seat out, got a tab welded in right there, and the bolts would be all in this box right here. So I have a harness I just got offline, nothing crazy. 4-point and a big bolt to go through the back. So that way, obviously passenger, if we do ride along, stuff like that, we'll have a harness to buckle down to. And that'll involve also drilling into the sides here and getting the 4-point mounted up safely and securely. So we'll do that. That's more of a second thing to do. But other than that, there's nothing really major I've done else to the car. I did wire in some interior lights. I don't think I showed that on my last video, but I'll go ahead and show you real quick. Grab the keys. Got it. So there were already some pre-existing lights down here that kind of light up the floorboard, but I added some small, nothing fancy, white LED lights in the back that actually illuminate this pretty well, enough to see what I need to see on the laptop or on the floor, and in the back to see my CO2 gauges, anything like that. So pretty cool, but nothing fancy, pretty simple there. Still need to get this headliner addressed. Eventually that'll probably be a winter thing, but not my immediate attention right now. But yeah, so that was just a little update on that too. So that's the plan of attack, just kind of a little maintenance day / update day on the Fox body, and everything else engine wise is pretty good there. No major issues. Double check all the fluids, all that was good after the track. Drove it home both times I went, so I'll put together a video. Also debating on radial stuff, so not sure. I know they're super back ordered on the Pro Bracket radials, or Pro radials, not the brackets, I keep saying that. But once I get this car understood, in matters of leaving on it, the boost, everything about the car, the whole thing, it'll be time to go, I believe, to a radial, depending on this whole glue shortage thing. So that's in my future. If you know anyone that wants to let a set of 275/60/15s go for cheap, definitely hit me up. But other than that, that's pretty much it. Oh, I had the window when I went to the track last come off. I think the gear got stuck in the window motor. But I take this door panel off, which is nothing but a couple of screws, and had to reset the motor and got to work again. But that was the only little hiccup at the track. Everything else was kind of just data logging and whatnot. So that's the plan. Nothing crazy. These are pretty universal. Just get you some, if you're trying to clean it up. I have some wire loom. I'll measure my wires out, make a little nice clean kit for that. There's my weather pack connector for the line lock. Just got some extra quick connects. I needed those. Some terminals, ring connects, and then red and black wire, nothing fancy. Some zip ties to clean everything up. So I'll order some more bigger, thicker loom to kind of hide all this wires. But for now, just being that it's kind of late in the season and don't have but a few weeks until SCT Darlington, where I plan on attending, having this car pretty well dialed and understood by then. Then after the season's over, pretty much after that, we will have to go through the car and really just kind of clean everything up, fine tune everything for next season. So that's the update. Long story short, I'm gonna stop talking now because I have a good bit of work to do and get all this set up for you and get this car just a little bit closer to being race ready and dialed in. So let's get it. All right, so we got the buttons mounted You've seen the time lapse there, and got our wires pretty much set where we need them. Now it's just kind of tedious cleaning up, and pretty much I have this pigtail that was running to the the bump and the scramble. So I'm just going to essentially put this connection on there. It's just an extension piece, ground it, splice in right there where those connectors are, and then that will go straight to the Holly and do away with this extension piece right here. So wire that up, tuck it up nice and neat, zip tie it away, and then we're left with the trans brake. That was this wire that I made over here. This will go positive, and then this will go to the ground, and it should be good to go. And then I do have a column cover and it come up here, and that'll keep the wires from getting all tangled up. So that will be probably next week. And then it should be good to go. I mean, everything will be nice, tucked away. I do need to figure out the bump on the Holly, and that will involve looking at the laptop and seeing what wire I need to find in the Holly wiring harness to make sure that it is going to get fixed, and that will be, like I said, tied into this right here. This is bump and scramble. So just kind of a quick update on where I'm at, and we will push forward and clean all this mess up. It looks bad, ignore it right now, but I promise it'll look nice and tidy and tucked away when I'm done with it. So let's keep going. All right, so just finished up wiring. I haven't tucked everything away nice and neat because I wanted to test it out first. But everything seems to be working properly. Did get a little carried away, decided to paint the cage. So that was why this rag's here. But side note, might as well, it looks a little bad. I haven't hit this spot yet, but you can see the difference here. Just got to put a little clear coat on it, but turned out pretty good. Not too mad about that. But yeah, so got the buttons on here. This is gonna be my trans brake. You hear it there. And this will be trans brake, and then bump, which I still have to get into the Holly and see why that's not bumping, but that's the idea of it. Now it's time to put these up there, tuck away all the grounds and miscellaneous wires down there, put the carpet back, seats in, and then we'll hop over and do the install of the harness for the passenger seat. So yeah, I had an extra thing, painted the roll cage, but we're just moving right along. Nothing major. Looks pretty good. But yeah, so that's the move. That's what you do if you're trying to do this. Hopefully that kind of gives you some help. Not sure what the exact wire is that goes to the Holly, but it's on their website for trans brake. But I will look up the wiring schematics for the bump and scramble. Right now I think I'm on 3 pounds for scramble, which you can hear it. It's weird. I don't know. I gotta look at it, but we're gonna carry on. Let's go. All right, so about a day later, I had to take a break, go to work, but we're back. I finished up getting the rest of the parts I needed. Got the column cover in. Kind of works for now. Just kind of hides the column right there. All the wires. Got my cords in. It's kind of situated there, so not the cleanest, but hey, it works. And seats are still out. I have to put those back in. All the wires are tucked away now. Finished getting the rest of the cage painted inside, just putting some clear coat on everything, letting it dry right now. and then I'll put everything back together. Went ahead, removed the old trans brake button that was there, because now it's on the steering wheel, and figured out, I'm pretty sure why the bump wasn't working. Talked with the tuner and diagnosed that it was sending a signal to the Holly. There is a relay box in the glove, under the glove box there, underneath the Holly, that turns red pretty much when you hit the trans brake button, and then it pulses. So we know it's working, but for some reason it's not bumping. So the Holly's seeing it, it's working, all the wires are connected properly, it is grounded out. So it is sending a signal. We're just going to replace that relay junction box, and I have that here before our next test and tune day. So yeah, that's pretty much it for now. Everything else, besides being a mess, will come back together pretty easy, and we should be good to go. I wasn't able to finish getting the seat in. I do need a bolt for the factory seatbelt hole. I don't have the proper size or thread pitch bolt so I can put the seat in. So I will be going to the hardware store. I'll just take the bolt out of that seatbelt and go to the store and get the bolt so I can finish putting the seatbelt harness in and passenger seat back in, and then clean it up a little bit and load it up and go to the next track day. So for now, it's about as much maintenance as I can think of. I still have some wire loom coming in to cover all this stuff up, and then all this will zip up nice and tight there. This is just my cord for the Holly. So anyway, yeah, that is, looks something like that. Go into the CO2 tank. That is pretty much it for the matters of upgrades / maintenance on the Fox body. So if that helps anyone or gives them maybe sparks an idea, there you go. Let me know if you have any questions, of course. I'm going to finish putting all this stuff back together as soon as the paint dries, either tonight or tomorrow, and then we're going to load up and go to test and tune. Hopefully get more than one run in, because that was absolutely ridiculous last time. I went to the track, only got one run in, but slowly going to get more dialed in on this setup. Just going to leave on 5 pounds, ramp it into about 15 right now. I think it's through about 2 seconds. So it was definitely, watch this thing too. Definitely moving. Carried the front tires a little bit too, so that was cool. Definitely a new experience for me. So can't wait to really turn this thing up. But slowly but surely, I'm not trying to rush everything. And plan is to have this car, like I said, dialed for SET Darlington in about a month from now, a little less than a month. So that is the plan, course of action. I will see you guys on the next one. Thanks all y'all for watching, and stay tuned. More track hits, more personal best, more data, and more hopefully helpful videos. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.